Hello, my name is Tom Chappell. I'm Chief Executive Officer of Chappell Smith & Associates, a full-line insurance agency located in the Nashville area of Middle Tennessee. 2010 was a difficult year for Nashvillians in that in May we experienced unprecedented rainfall resulting in massive flooding. Some 26,000 homes were damaged, many of which did not carry flood insurance. Some of these homeowners did not realize that flood was not a covered peril in their normal, standard homeowner policy form. Today, I've asked Mary Lewis, a senior account executive at Chappell Smith & Associates, to discuss these programs and how they are to be covered. Mary, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
I think we would maybe start, since flood was the initial topic, start and talk about flood a bit. What is a flood?
A flood is a condition of rising water and water runoff in an area that's normally dry.
And this could be caused by rainfall, excessive rainfall, snow melt in certain parts of the country.
Yes. Yes.
Is this covered under the homeowner policy?
No, your standard homeowner policy does not cover flood or uprising of waters.
How do you cover that then?
You need to purchase a separate flood policy for your building and your contents. And that was a situation that most people thought if they did purchase coverage, flood coverage on their home, they automatically had coverage on their contents, and they did not.
We learned a lot in the Nashville floods.
Yes.
Do you buy this from an insurance company if you're a homeowner, or where do you buy this insurance?
It's a program through the National Flood Insurance Program through the government. Mm-hmm. It can be written under several different companies. There's carriers, auto owners, travelers, but it is all underwritten by the federal government.
So they basically appoint companies in each area, standard companies in each area, to handle the underwriting and the processing of claims, but they don't necessarily underwrite the risk.
Correct. And the rates are all the same.
Is there a maximum limit that a person can get on their home?
There is. Right now, the current maximum limit on the dwelling is $250,000, and on your contents, $100,000. Which obviously will not cover all homes. You can purchase excess flood insurance through a specialty market, and it's pretty expensive.
Are there various cost variances between flood-prone areas and areas that are less subject to flood?
Yes, and that's another thing that we learned in this recent flood is some people were told they didn't need flood insurance because they weren't in a flood zone. Everyone in Middle Tennessee is in a flood zone. It just is it's a matter of what degree. Zone A being the most expensive, the highest prone area to flooding, and Zone X being the lowest premium, the least likely to flood. So you and I are both in a flood zone, probably flood Zone X, and the insurance premium is going to be lower on that zone versus Zone A.
Even though my house sits on top of a hill?
Yes, you're still probably in Zone X.
If that floods, they'll be pairing animals off 2 by 2. What is the difference between backing up of sewers, which is a peril, and in flooding?
Flooding is an uprising of waters or water runoff. So if in your area the water is coming up from the ground through your basement or through your front door, that's considered a flood. A backup of sewer which can be a result of a flood, is actually sewer water backing up through your drain in your bathroom or your drain in your basement.
So if it is the result of a flood, would the backup of sewers be also included in the flood coverage?
It depends on the homeowner coverage you have. Some companies automatically include backup of sewer and drains, and we learned that in this flood, that if you were a company, Fireman's Fund or ACE, that had that coverage, there was some coverage, even though it was a result of a flood.
Can you tell me with the homeowners that we've been talking about, how does this affect commercial properties?
Actually, it's about the same as personal lines. There's flood exclusions under the commercial policy also. You can purchase flood insurance for a commercial building. Their limits available are a little bit higher, $500,000 for the building and $250,000 for contents.
But that is, do you go to the flood program for that coverage?
Same program,
Same
same
program.
National Flood Insurance Program.
And then, of course, there are other coverages that can be bought commercially, such as differences in conditions policies.
Correct.
Which would give coverage, I guess, for much higher limits on
Right.
the large businesses.
Correct.
I see. When binding coverage under the flood program, is there a waiting period?
Yes, there is. If you are just purchasing it because you think you want flood insurance, there's a 30-day waiting period. If your mortgage company is requiring it, then you can purchase it as soon as the application is submitted with the payment.
I see. Well, Mary, thank you very much. That's been very enlightening and hopefully beneficial to our customers and clients and friends.
Thank you.